Hello everyone, my name is Zach and I am the Traveling Man, and today is a very exciting day here in Seattle, Washington for a number of reasons. But most importantly, it's because it's cruise day. I'm here with the Norwegian Encore. This is going to be a cruise of first. My very first cruise with Norwegian, my first time sailing to Alaska, my first time sailing out of Seattle. The list goes on and on. So why don't you go down below, hit that subscribe button, because I have so much content to bring you here on the channel from here on board the Norwegian Encore in Alaska. So come on if you're ready. Let's get this adventure started. I'm here on this platform, actually just up above Pier 66. Pier 66 is the Norwegian pier here in Seattle, and you can see it's right downtown. But look how huge this ship is. I've never been on Norwegian before, never really seen any of their ships up close, but this is a big ship. This is actually the largest ship in Norwegian's fleet. So it's going to be a great week exploring the ship. I am so excited to get on board. It is currently 9:11. My check-in time's at 9:30, but you can see there, folks are still disembarking the crews that just got returned. They got here about 5 a.m. this morning, and they're still getting off the ship. They've actually been standing there for a few minutes. I don't know what's going on. So it might be a wait this morning to get actually boarded on the ship. But I'm really excited to embark on this adventure. A lot of you who watch my channel have told me now for a year or so at least that I need to sail Norwegian, that I need to sail in Alaska. So I'm doing that, and I have so much planned for this cruise. I can't even wait to show you all of the things that I'm gonna be doing on this cruise. It's gonna be amazing. So I'm gonna go get checked in now. Like I said, I'm a little bit early, but I'm gonna see what the check-in process is like. Get in line for check-in. And yeah, I'll get through check-in and everything and talk to you when we're ready to board the ship. We're now officially on board the Norwegian Encore, a beautiful ship so far. Like I said, only the second newest ship in Norwegian's fleet, and it actually debuted at a very odd time because it debuted at the end of 2019, right before the pandemic started. So it was only out for a month or two before everything shut down. So it's a fairly new ship, and it's beautiful so far. Interesting how Norwegian does the embarkation process. Once you get on board the ship, they immediately direct you to your muster station. So you have to do muster station as soon as you step on board the ship. So that's all done. I'm staying here on deck 12 in one of the studio rooms, and we'll look at that in just a bit. But you do notice they do have the sign up saying that the room is not quite ready. They do want you to come back later. And they actually have these fire doors shut, so they're pretty serious about it. So I'm not going to open it and try to go to my room. I do have my carry-on bag here that I've been rolling around. It's not too bad, but just keep in mind that if you are bringing a carry-on bag on Norwegian, they do stand by you can't go right to your room. I know Celebrity and some cruise lines will let you go at least drop your bags off and then come back later, but here they have the doors shut and there is no access. I really have no idea where I'm going since this is all brand new to me. So I came to deck 15, one of the places I was most excited to see on the ship. This is the observation lounge. It's all the way forward on deck 15. So let's take a look at it first. Here's a model of the Encore. Look at that. It's very detailed. Maybe I can just look at this and figure out where I should be going. Oh, and one of the things I'm excited to see is that golf cart track up on the back of the ship. They also have a laser tag course too. Let's just do a quick walk around. I will say, first of all, that I love the aesthetic. It's beautiful. Everything just looks so modern and well done. So far it's a beautiful ship from like the 2 decks I've seen of it so far. But this is the observation lounge, and you see they have juices set up here. So they have coffees. They have a lot of different sandwiches and stuff. Yeah, a lot of fruit, a lot of different snacks that you can get. And no one's here yet because I guess everyone's going to the buffet and some of the other dining venues around the ship. And since we're sailing in Alaska, I think this will be an especially cool place to come and hang out. I mean, look at some of the chairs that they have in here. It's be a nice place just to bring a book, just to sit and read, be able to look out these big windows. So in addition to the snacks and things you can get back there, you can also get drinks up here as well. So this is the observation lounge, and like I said, it's all the way forward here on deck 15. A beautiful place, a very large. Good morning. Hi.
How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
A YouTuber?
Yep. So yeah, this is a very cool space. I'm interested to see, they have a piano there, so I'm sure there'll be like entertainment here in the evenings. but beautiful places to sit. I just can't wait to sit out here and, you know, enjoy all the scenery and see Alaska. But today we have the sights of Seattle. You can see the Space Needle there. And then just ahead, you can see some ships there in the distance. You can see, I think that's the Discovery Princess and also a Holland America ship. Very popular cruise season here in Seattle, of course. Everyone's going to Alaska. So here on deck 16 forward is the Garden Cafe. This is the main buffet on board the ship. There are some restrooms here just to your right before you enter. After the Garden Cafe, this is the main pool area on board, and I don't know that it's going to be so popular this cruise because, yeah, we're sailing to Alaska, and while it is the end of May, 1st of June, it's going to be very chilly, so we'll see. They also have the water park, of course, the big slides. They have the slide over here to the left, over here on starboard side, which actually goes out over the edge of the ship. So a lot of offerings here, a lot of offerings for families. But a very big main pool area. Of course, there's a place over there for them to set up some music. There's a bar over there. Of course, the main pool right here. A lot of beach chairs. I've seen some videos on YouTube of people getting stuck. And I don't know if it's on this ship or other, I think it is a Norwegian ship, but they get stuck in one of these parts of the slide and they have to be helped out. And I think that's what this, you can see this door here. I think that's actually what that's for. They can open up that slide when people get stuck here in this lower portion and fish them out. So another reason I'm not doing the water slide. So right now I'm kind of just trying to get an idea of maybe what's open for lunch. They have a lot of different offerings. I know that they have the local grill, which is like an eatery that's open 24 hours a day, but I don't know if it's open right now. You would think it would if it's open 24 hours a day. I was trying to get on their app to figure this out, but the Wi-Fi doesn't seem to be registering or connecting. I even tried to log into my unlimited streaming internet package that I purchased before the cruise, and that's not even working. So I got to get that figured out. Because that's worrisome that it's day one and the internet's not working, or not letting me log on rather, and it's not letting me access the app. So got to figure that out. Going to find some lunch and continue exploring the ship. But I got to say, first impressions, I like the Norwegian Encore. So we've just come up the stairs up a level. Now we're on deck 17. This is the jogging track. So if you're someone who likes to jog or walk or run or anything like that during the cruise, here you go. And then this is the American Diner here. I think this is a specialty additional cost restaurant right here, but it does look like they are open for embarkation day lunch. And then just here, we just come inside from the American Diner. This is Le Bistro. Le Bistro is another specialty dining venue. This is the French themed restaurant here on board the ship, and I'll actually be dining here tonight for my first dinner, so I'm really excited about that, and I'll let you know all about how Le Bistro is and all of the restaurants here on board Norwegian Encore is in my food review video, which I will put out very soon. So I'm here on deck 6 now because I had some restaurant reservations that I needed to take care of. So it's right here in the main atrium level here on deck 6, and you will come, it's right by the art gallery. Come right here, they'll have a sign up, and there's already a line in here, and this is where you can get all of your restaurant reservations taken care of, and I recommend you doing this as soon as you can on embarkation day. This is also the location of the teppanyaki restaurant on board, so if you're looking to change your reservations on embarkation day, this is the place to do it. And again, I highly recommend you do it as soon as possible because I know online it said all the recommendations were completely full before I got on the ship, so I'm just hoping that some things might be available now that I'm on board. All right, so similar to the restaurant reservations, which were over there, across the way here at the Social Comedy and Nightclub, this is where you actually want to go for your show and attraction reservations. So any of the comedy that they have nightly comedy, any of the shows like that that require reservations, you need to come here ASAP upon boarding the ship and be able to do that. And I say that because this is kind of where we hit our first snag of the cruise here with Norwegian. Norwegian doesn't allow you to pre-book a lot of stuff on board. Any of the entertainment other than Choir of Man, which is one of the main shows, I guess it's very popular. They did open that up a couple or a few weeks before so that you could book that. However, for all the comedy shows, they don't allow you to book anything like that, any reservations, until you get on board the ship. And I thought that you had to come here to this location in order to make those reservations. However, you can also use the app. As soon as you get on board and connect to ship's Wi-Fi, you will be able to make those reservations. So that has to be the first thing you do when you get on board the ship. Now, unfortunately, I was having issues with my internet, with my Wi-Fi. It wasn't even recognizing me as a passenger on this cruise. And then finally, it seemed after about 12 o'clock or so, it finally caught up. The app I was able to log out of and refresh, and it finally updated for me. But by the time I got on there, unfortunately, none of the comedy shows were left. And I just went in here and stood in line for about 20 minutes. None of the comedy shows are left. So unfortunately, even though comedy is one of my favorite parts of a cruise, when cruise ships have comedy clubs and things like that, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to partake here on board Norwegian because I just wasn't quick enough to it. And my app wasn't working, so I wasn't able to get on there in enough time to get those reservations made. So that was kind of a bummer. I'm not going to let it ruin my day, though, but I just wanted to use that as a word of caution to you, that if you do like to go to comedy or any of the main shows in the theater that require reservations, and it really just depends. Not all the shows do, so I will be able to see some shows. But if the comedy here in the social nightclub, it's not a very big venue, so you do have to have reservations for that. So just keep that in mind and make sure that's the first thing you do when you board the ship. Speaking of the ship, this is part of the Atrium here, again on deck 7. I think we're still on deck 7. Or maybe this is deck 6. I don't even remember what deck we're on anymore. But this is a beautiful atrium here. You see the stairs. You can go up a level or two. You also have Coco's over here. Coco's is like ice cream and desserts and things like that. And then, of course, like I said, you have the social comedy and nightclub, which is right here. And also, mind you, it's just 12:30. So a lot of people didn't even check in yet. There's still a line of people out there waiting just to check in, haven't even boarded the ship yet. So you need to make sure you get the earliest boarding time that you can get and on the ship as soon as possible if you want to be able to get those entertainment options and get those reservations, because, you know, by 12 o'clock, 12:30, they were all gone. Keep that in mind. So this is the main atrium here on board the Encore. This is guest services. There's also an onboard credit desk right there in the middle, and then shore excursions right over here. Of course, there's a big seating area there in the middle where it's open, and then look at this. This is a fully functional Starbucks, my friends, and I love Starbucks. How fitting, too, that we're leaving from Seattle and there's a fully functional Starbucks on board this ship. So I'm sure I'm going to be in here quite a bit. Right next to that is the cruise next desk, so if you are someone who likes to book your next cruise while on board, that's where you would come to do that. And then there is a bar here, the Atrium bar here in the middle, and I just wanted to walk out here to the seating area and show you how this opens up. We're on deck 6 now, and then up there at deck 7, that's the local grill, and we'll go up there very shortly. I think that's where I'm going to get lunch because I'm getting kind of hungry now, but you can enjoy lunch and look out over the atrium, and I think they have different shows and maybe game shows and trivia and things like that right here in the main atrium. Stepped inside the Starbucks now. Notice that the menu are pretty much the same process as what you would pay on land, and I know they fluctuate from location to location, but very similarly priced, but it seems like they have a lot of all of the options that you could get at a typical Starbucks. I will say, if you have the unlimited drink package, I think one of the top tier drink packages, all the Starbucks drinks are included in that drink package, so it's no additional cost to you, even though it is Starbucks, a fully functional Starbucks. No additional cost if you have the drink package. They also have a Starbucks only package if you just want to buy that. It's sort of like the soda package that a lot of the cruise lines offer, but if you just want to buy that, I think it's like $13 a day that you can sort of enjoy all the Starbucks that you want and go crazy. So now here at the local bar and grill, and you have to check in over there and be seated. They will actually show you where to sit. You don't just walk up and take a seat anywhere. But this is open 24/7, and it's sit-down service, but it's complimentary. It's absolutely included. It's just like the buffet or anywhere else that you might eat on board with included food. And the server just gave me my menu, and he said he'd be back in a minute to take my order. So this is pretty cool. And like I said, 24/7 you can come here and get a bite to eat. This is always open, so I think this is going to be really cool, and it was one of the things I was most excited to experience on board the Encore. Okay, so just inside the cabin, just to note, you do have to have the key card inserted in the lights in order for the lights to work. But this is one of the studio cabins here on board the Encore. This will be my home for the week, and I will do a more in-depth tour of the room, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like. And these solo studio rooms are for solo cruisers, and I am frequently, most of the time, a solo cruiser, and I know many of my viewers are as well. So I picked this room specifically with you in mind. I wanted to show this experience because I have on other cruise lines, and I thought it only fair. This is actually one of the reasons why I wanted to try Norwegian, to try out this solo studio experience. But this is it. This is the room. It's about 100 square foot. You got a full-size bed right here. You have a TV, of course. You have a telephone and some USB plugs here. You also have some storage down here and a seat so that you can use this as like a bedside table. Then you have a closet and a safe, of course. And the same thing on the other side as well. This right here is your sink. And then the shower is here just in your room because it is, of course, a studio room. And then on the other side here is the toilet sort of in this little closet. So yeah, this is it. I'm going to stand in this far corner here so you can get a good idea. It's not as small as I thought it would be. I thought it would be a little bit smaller, but it's actually a pretty good size space, especially for one person. So yeah, plenty more about this room as we go throughout the week, but I just wanted to show you, and I'll tell you much more about the room and what I thought about it when I do the full room tour. So make sure you look out for that video coming to the channel very soon. Oh, one of the cool things I'll show you now about the room is this little shade. This is actually a live view from outside, so you are inside, but you don't have to feel like it. But if you want to cut this off and get, you know, at night or something, you just do that. And it actually shuts the TV that's behind it, powering everything. It shuts it off. So see, whenever I raise it, you'll see it's just a little bit slow to start back up because it does completely shut down the TV. But pretty cool. You have a live look. You can see that's outside us right now, just out in Seattle. So pretty cool. I can't wait to stand here. I'm really excited about this room and about this week. It's just one of 3 floors that has the studio solo rooms on board the Encore. Decks 12, deck 11, and I think deck 10. And included with the studio is also the studio lounge. And this lounge is exclusive to those guests staying in the studio, one of the studio rooms, one of the solo rooms. So let's go down now and take a look at the studio lounge, which is actually located on deck 11. And I'm here on deck 12. So you just have to take this little staircase down. You can see there's another level to take you down to the solo rooms down on deck 10. This is the studio lounge, and it is exclusive to those guests staying in a solo room. And it's a very nice lounge. It's very pretty in here. In addition to seating and stuff, they also have a wine dispenser over here. You do have to pay for this. This wine in here, as I understand, is not included in any of the drink packages. So just know if you're pouring some wine in here in the studio lounge, you will have to pay additional for it. But they also have snacks, and you know, there's some cookies there and some cake, some iced tea and water, and then an espresso machine here. As I understand it, also a selection of tea there as well. But as I understand it, this is available 24/7. It's a nice place to come and hang out if you are staying in a studio room. One other thing to mention about the studios is that they are behind a locked door, so only folks staying in a studio room can access all 86 of the studio rooms and the studio lounge on board. So you do have to have a key card for one of those rooms in order to access this. So it's sort of exclusive feeling. It's sort of like a private lounge and sort of hallway and stateroom like the Haven or the Retreat or something like that, but only for those solo guests staying in the studio. So one of the other cool things about this ship is, as you're walking down the hall, see the fish down there? Watch what direction they're going. If you're going with them, the same direction they're swimming, that means you're going toward the front of the ship. And, you know, the opposite's true. If they're swimming backwards of you, you're going toward the aft. But, so see, right now we're going toward the forward of the ship. And then when you get to this green level of carpet here, that indicates that you are near an access to the elevator. So anytime you see the green carpet, that means you can turn there and get back to the main elevator bank, either in the forward or the aft of the ship there on that floor. So it's now 15 minutes until 2 o'clock, and you still see the crush of people coming on board. This is deck 7, where everyone's coming on board, but still a lot of people coming on board. Okay, now we're here on deck 8. This brings us to Food Republic. Food Republic, another specialty dining venue. It's like the sushi restaurant here on board the ship. Now we're going to go out to the Waterfront. The Waterfront is a wraparound deck. It wraps around the sides of the ship, maybe the back. This is as far as you can go in the front. But it's sort of overhangs over the side of the ship. And it's a nice place to come outside, which I'm going to need, because you guys just saw my stateroom being inside. I'm going to need a place to come outside and hang out and relax. Whew. Talk about taking the stairs. I wish I had to take the stairs on at least the first day of the cruise. And there's a lot of stairs on this ship. There's like 18 decks to this monster. But a beautiful day here in Seattle. It's so cool out. It's 62 degrees. Such a beautiful place to set sail from. I'm so excited to head to Alaska on the Encore. In addition to this being a nice place to come in, there's chairs out here. You can have a seat. You can just stand and, have a look at wherever you're at. Look at the scenery, which will be very important, especially when we're in Alaska, sailing up among the glaciers, and we can stand here and have a look off. But this also serves as sort of some outdoor dining from some of the specialty restaurants. This is Ocean Blue, and Ocean Blue is the specialty seafood restaurant on board. So you could request, if you wanted to, a table to sit outside at Ocean Blue, and this is where you would be seated. I don't know how popular that'll be on this sailing since, well, we're going to Alaska. It's going to be chilly, but that's always an option. And I think a lot of the specialty restaurants have this option. This is Ocean Blue. I know that Cagney's, which is the main steakhouse, has that option, and several other of the restaurants as well. So I did sort of want to talk about the reservations because that's sort of been a sore topic for me, and I've heard other people now talking about it as well. Before the cruise, like I mentioned, you could not book any entertainment options on the app or on the website. And actually just booking dining in general was quite difficult. It was very clunky on the website. I actually had to call Norwegian a couple times because it just screwed up my reservation. I heard stories of people getting the reservations canceled. They had made like Steakhouse reservations, which are pretty hard to get sometimes, but they had these reservations and ultimately they ended up getting canceled for whatever reason, and they had to try to rebook. So my understanding is on embarkation day, everyone flocks both to the dining reservation and also to the entertainment reservation, which I showed you both of those. They take those all up in the first hour or two of boarding, then they're gone pretty much for the rest of the cruise. Now the folks in the entertainment area, they were trying to encourage me and be like, oh, they might be more open throughout the cruise, just go on the app and check. But because my app wasn't working when I boarded the ship, and I tried for like 20 or 30 minutes while I was in line for my dining reservations and to get that straightened out, could not get the internet to work. I even asked the host there at the dining reservations table who I should talk to about the internet. She told me where to go, and then thankfully I finally got my app working, but by then all the reservations were gone. So just keep in mind, it is a pretty clunky process to try to get reservations for pretty much anything, it seems like, at least on this cruise on the Encore, because it's sort of been, sort of fumbled dining reservations, and now also seemingly impossible to get comedy reservations. So that's been the only snag I've noticed so far. I wish the technology was a little bit better. I know with a lot of the other cruise lines, Royal Caribbean Group is coming to mind. They let you book entertainment options on the app, right on the app, and a lot of times before the cruise even starts. I wish Norwegian was more like that. So I just wish their digital presence was a little bit better. It's 2023. This is a beautiful cruise ship. That's my first impression, a beautiful cruise ship. I just wish the technology and the reservations and things like that were matching the experience a little bit better, if that makes sense. Let me know down in the comments, do you have experience with Norwegian and booking? What's the best tips? Let us know down in the comments. I'm a first timer. I've heard a lot of other folks talking, sort of discouraged that they didn't get reservations. Let us know, what's your tips? How do we get those reservations? Because they're so coveted, but yet I don't know how they're gone by noon on boarding day when most of the cruising population on this cruise is still not even on board the ship yet. Make it make sense. Hey, so this is Zach from later on in the cruise. So you can see we're in Alaska already. I have so much footage for my embarkation day, so I'm actually going to cut this one here, and this is now going to be a two-parter embarkation day video, and the next one will follow in just a few days, I promise. So make sure you come back and see that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go down below, give me a thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already, because we have so much content to come from the Norwegian Encore. I'll give you a hint. I'm having a great time, and I want you to see all about this ship. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure, which will be part 2 of this one.